So first, welcome to Taichung.
Well, thank you, Sean. Good to be here.
So excited for you to be here. We've been working together on the Taipei Twin Tower project for over 4 years now.
That's right.
About 4 years.
It seems like only yesterday we started that project, but it's come a long way.
Yes. I've been so impressed with SOM's approach to sustainable design. So today's conversation is just about there's such a huge wave of sustainability, ESG, low carbon commitments, and today's conversation is about the importance of building design and how that impacts these goals. So
it was a great topic and certainly a timely one for us here right now.
Yeah, so at RCI, what we do, we're sustainability cheerleaders. We provide building consultation and certification services. We do building optimization, testing and commissioning, and building monitoring services. So Michael, could you introduce yourself and tell us your role at SOM?
Well, I am Michael Duncan. I'm a design partner at SOM, and I lead the charge on a lot of important design projects. SOM has offices around the world. It's an international firm, but I think what's really interesting, particularly in regards to sustainable design practices, is that we're an interdisciplinary firm. That means we have planners, architects, engineers, structural engineers, graphic designers, landscape designers, all working together. And so when issues about sustainability, which really, I think, have always been at the heart of SOM, maybe as they've evolved over more recent years, we're getting maybe clearer on what the issues of climate change and the causes of it, and maybe some of the possible solutions. SOM is, I think, well equipped to handle these, and we do, as you know, a lot of large projects.
Yes.
And they're often impactful projects, and they're often centerpieces of cities and perhaps models for development in the future. So we are thrilled to be on the front of this and really committed to sustainable engineering in all our projects and even in our heart of our design practice.
That's fantastic. When you do your design, could you share with us your core design principles? How do you get to this sustainable design? I feel like it's such a black box. I'd like you to share some of your
well, Sean, you probably walked through it with us here over the last several years. I think what's really important in our approach is that we have this holistic approach and that we bring people on early on in the process. First moves, analysis of the site, how we can make an impact, from the operational. Do we have I'm sorry.
It was like this noise in the background.
Yeah.
It's a doorbell.
It's how we approach a project to begin with. We often bring people from many different disciplines and our clients and our consultants all together early on to strategize about best solutions for a project. The passive solutions are often the biggest and most impactful, as you know. So getting the building oriented right, getting the right massing, thinking about how the building performs, all of that is right at the beginning and helping to shape it, and really how it also ties into its environment, reacts to its environment, and maybe into the community context as well. So getting as many players involved early on to strategize different solutions and pushing forward the best ideas. It's not always obvious, but it's often a combination of, the most impactful ones are often a combination of different disciplines coming together to rethink a problem.
Yeah, that's so interesting. In new markets where everyone's very interested in sustainability, one of these developers that are new to sustainability, the first question is always cost.
Yep.
They're always asking, is a ESG, is a sustainable building more expensive than a traditional build?
Well, it can be, I'll say that, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. I think one of the maybe interesting things that's not always understood is ideas of economy and using less, better performing systems, more efficient structure, using less materials. All of those are part of reducing the footprint, and they also align with reducing costs often. So choice of materials, of course. Some projects may lend themselves to a highly sustainable, for example, a timber building that we're doing in down the peninsula in San Francisco. We priced it out in concrete, we priced it out in steel, but at that moment, heavy timber was actually cheaper.
Wow.
And it has 85% less carbon impact than maybe either of those other options. So it's not always that way. And in fact, in that case, there are different trade-offs. Maybe you don't need to do such an expensive ceiling if you've got a beautiful wood ceiling there. Maybe there are other solutions that are give and take in terms of cost. So you've got to look at the big picture, the whole picture, and particularly when you're pricing it, figuring out ways that you can get an efficient, cost-effective solution.
Right. I guess the last question I have for you is, these developers that are new to this, why should they care about sustainability? Why should they care about green buildings?
Well, I think there are many, many different answers to that. But I will say, that climate change is one of the big issues that we're facing today. And we take it very, very seriously. And we're looking for actionable items and figuring out a way to collectively make a dent in this. The construction industry is probably responsible for 1/3 of carbon emissions worldwide. And that's something that we can really make an impact on. What's really exciting right now is innovations are happening. There are new materials, there's new ideas. As you said, sustainability is coming up, and it has fostered a number of, all over the world, people interested in trying to solve some aspect of this problem. So we have a number of research projects we're working on, something called BioBlock, which it's a concrete-like block, but it's made of algae, and it absorbs carbon. We're seeing all sorts of really interesting solutions, sort of piece by piece. And when you weave these together, they can make new buildings, new technology, maybe more impactful. It's an important issue for us to solve, and I think leadership projects like the one we're working on in Taipei, maybe one of the most visible buildings in the last, several years, they have, I think, an additional responsibility to show that it can be done cost effectively, and maybe it's also a better building to be in. We talk about, sustainability and wellness are kind of right next to each other.
Yeah.
What's it like to be in these buildings? Is it comfortable? In the case of our project, it's right on the park. We have, it kind of has a civic role as well.
That's right.
For the community. Yeah. So that civic mindedness, that inclusion of the community, in that case, hey, let's put the building right on top of maybe the busiest transit node in the city, put the density on top. That's a problem. We can get some of the cars off the road, perhaps.
That's right.
Solving it in many, many different ways. And some of those are, cost performers. Hey, we're not building as much parking as we need because many, many of these people can just take the transit system.
That's right.
So I think you can align developers' interests, environmental interests, health and wellness for people who are living and working in these buildings, and put that together for a fantastic project.
Okay, Michael, that's it. Thank you so much for your time. I wanted to thank you for what a great design. It's been a pleasure working together on.
I've enjoyed it, Sean. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good.
All right.